Good morning, students. In the last class, we were discussing about different pattern of magnetic field lines produced from straight conductor, circular loop, and solenoid. After that, we are solving some in-text questions, right? So there were 3 in-text questions under this topic. 2 I solved, and one more I told you to solve. So let us discuss that answer now before going to the next topic. So look at that question. In that question, they are given. Consider a circular loop of wire lying in the plane of the table. Let the current passes through the loop clockwise. So it is current is passing in clockwise. So you need to draw the diagram so that you should take all the given terms. So current is passing the clockwise, and find out the direction of the magnetic field inside and outside the loop. Magnetic field. So magnetic field usually denoted by B. So we need to find this one inside and outside loop. So look at the question. They are giving the circular loop. So circular loop which will be like this, right? So this is our circular loop which is connected to a battery and current because the current is flowing in a clockwise direction. So this is given with respect to a table, but no need to worry about that. Let us draw first. So if this is 2 terminals of the circular loop, now we should see current should flow in clockwise. So let us take a battery like this and a key. So we should be very careful because we want clockwise direction. So if this is our positive terminal, then current starts flowing from here. So here and come back from negative terminal, right? So just see whether it is clockwise direction or anti-clockwise. Where? In the circular loop. So if this is our circular, just imagine this is our clock. If it flows like this, then it is clockwise. So if it goes like this, then it is anti-clockwise, right? So we have here, so our current is going in such a way, similar as this one. So we have drawn current correctly, how it is flowing in clockwise direction. Hope you understood. In case if we took this positive terminal here and negative terminal here, what happens? Current will start flowing from here. So that is anti-clockwise. So you should be able to write the diagram even if they give in the anti-clockwise. So if they give anti-clockwise, then we should change this terminals. Okay. Now we got a positive terminal here which shows the direction of current in clockwise direction. So now what was our question? We need to find out the magnetic field both inside the loop and outside the loop. From what technique we should find out? We should find based on right hand thumb rule. So and imagine we just drawn on a board just like a 2D dimensional. If it is on the table, it looks in a different way, like in a 3D. Not in a 3D, like it will be in a horizontal plane. Okay. So this is our right hand. So what the thumb represents? The thumb represents the current and this fingers shows the direction of the magnetic field. So if I hold, if this is straight, so we should imagine that is in the horizontal way. Which one? Our circular loop. So then we will fold like this. That means we know that magnetic field. So magnetic field lines we will get in such a way in both the sides. This is our magnetic field lines. So here let us see how we will get. So if this is the case, the magnetic field lines will be going and it will be coming here. Like you should take your right hand. Along with me, take any bangle where you can insert your hand. Take some circular loop, circular shape anything and try yourself. If you hold like this, so this is how the magnetic field starts. And the same thing we should do here. Then if we have a circle, we will be holding like this because we have the current flowing in such a way. So then what happens? If we fold like this, so just observe the magnetic field will be the direction of magnetic field is in this way. I hope you understood. Now just look at the direction. So this is our inside the loop. You can see similar on both sides. What is that? The direction of magnetic field inside the circular loop are showing downward direction. So inside the circular loop, it is downwards. Right. Now what we observe the outside is showing upwards. So same thing, right and right. Write on the same statement and write it outside the loop. It is flowing upwards. Now this is the answer. Okay. So it's a very easy question. So all we need to use the technique. Which one is clockwise? Which one is anti-clockwise? Then how to keep our right hand? We can't keep like this. We should imagine this in a horizontal way. Then only we should think about it. Okay. So it's very easy. Now this is we complete 3 in-text question under the topic. Now let us see some 3 important points. The first one is what is electromagnetism. Next one is, since we have some 3 to 4 activities, we can now see what are the properties of permanent magnet and electromagnet. Okay. Now let us see that one. So electromagnetism, just look at the statement. The phenomena of producing or inducing a magnetic field due to the passage of electric current. So what this statement tells us? So electromagnetism is nothing but this is a magnetism. We will get magnetic field only when the switch is on in a circuit or when electricity passes. So when the electricity passes, the magnetic field will produce, and soon when we off the electric current, when we stop the flow of current, the magnetic property will be lost. That means in the electromagnetic means it is an artificial process of producing magnetic field with the help of electric current. So that we can tell like the phenomena of producing or inducing magnetic field due to the presence of electric current. If it is in the absence of electric current, what happens? There will be no magnetic field in that circuit or in that particular conductor. So this electromagnetism is called as artificial magnetism. Why artificial? Means it is not a naturally occurring process. Because of electric current, it will produce. Now let us see the difference between permanent and electromagnet. Just what we heard about electromagnetism, that is nothing but this acts as an artificial magnet or it's temporary magnet. So here in the permanent magnet, so it will retain its magnetism or magnetic property for a longer time. So it will retain its magnetic property for longer time. So what happens there? So since we will get only magnetic field lines only when we switch on and switch on, when we switch off we won't get any magnetic field lines. So it is not retain its magnetic property for a longer time. So here it can keep for the longer time. And the next one is the strength of magnetic field. The strength of magnetic field which produced around permanent magnet are fixed. So the strength of magnetic field are fixed here. So what about here? The strength is not fixed. Strength is not fixed. That is because if the strength of current is more, then we will get strength of magnetic field more. If the strength of current is less here in the electromagnetic magnet, then the strength of magnetic field also become lower. So here it is not fixed. It will be varying. What about I am talking about magnetic field lines. So this is second point, and here polarity cannot be reversed. So here it can be reversed. Now let us see what is polarity. So in the permanent magnet they have fixed poles. If this is north, then it will be north. If this is south, it will act just like a so. So since the poles are fixed, the polarity won't be reversed. But what happens in electromagnet, if this is north and this is south, if we change the terminals, if we change the battery from positive to negative and negative to positive, the poles will also get altered. So just look at the diagram. If we interchange the batteries, then we will get reverse polarities also. So we can tell in the electromagnet, the polarities can be altered. It is not fixed here. And it cannot be easily demagnetized. Since it is a permanent, we cannot easily demagnetize it. Cannot easily demagnetized. But what happens here? Can we demagnetize here or not? So here we can easily demagnetize. How? If we switch off the flow of current, automatically the magnetic field will get demagnetized. So it is difficult here and it is easy here. And one more thing is, generally this electromagnet acts as a strong magnet, since we will get a stronger electromagnetic field, and here we will get weaker electromagnetic field and acts as weak magnet, which are permanent magnet. So these are the different, if they ask difference or if they ask properties of permanent and electromagnet, you can write the same points. Now let us go to one more new topic. Till now we were studying that current carrying conductor shows magnetic field. But later Andre-Marie Ampere, the one who gave its a unit of current, that is Ampere A, the same fellow gave his own theory in this field that an current carrying conductor, other than its magnetic field, it will also exert one more property, that is force. So according to him, current carrying conductor along with magnetic field, it will show force, equal and opposite force in that conductor. So Andre-Marie Ampere shows that an current carrying conductor also exerts an equal and opposite force in that current carrying conductor through his experiment. Now let us understand that with this activity. Now just observe here. So we have the stand here. This is our stand. Here we have taken, this is also stand. So here we have taken aluminium rod. Here we have taken aluminium rod with one end let it be A and another end let it be B. And these aluminium rod suspended horizontally and connected along with two connecting wires and made series in circuit. So once again I repeat, these aluminium rod suspended horizontally and along with the help of two connecting wires, it is connected with battery and key in series. So this is how we connected the circuit along with the help of stand. Now all these till now whatever we are looking about the earlier activities, we were using bar magnet, but in this activity we were using horseshoe magnet, which is almost like a U-shaped magnet. Okay, so here we are taking horseshoe magnet. So the next step is, we should take the horseshoe magnet and kept in such a way that the rod should lie in between the poles of this horseshoe magnet. I hope you understood. The rod should lie in between the poles of this horseshoe magnet, and along with that we should also concentrate that the magnetic field should be upwards. The magnetic field will be upwards when we place north pole down and south pole upper side. So based on that we made our experimental setup. Now this is how it looks. Now what we need to do is, when we switch on the current, we should observe the freely and horizontally suspended aluminium rod. when we switch on the current, it will start to make its displacement, that is nothing but it will start to move. So when we, by taking this negative and positive terminals like this, and when we switch on the current, we observe that this aluminum rod started to move left side. Its displacement was left side, and when we interchange, the displacement was right side. So one point we can understood, by interchanging the battery, we will get the displacement of rod will also interchange. Now this displacement is nothing but force. So we, along with the magnetic field, we should find the direction of force also. To find the direction of force, we have one more topic. Let us see that one later. Now I hope you understood how this activity works, right? Now let us look at this clip, actually how it works.
Here we need small aluminum rod, let us name it as A and B, and connected with two connecting wires. And horseshoe magnet is taken and placed in such a way that rod lies in between two poles, and magnetic field is directed upwards, and make sure north pole should be vertically below and south pole is above the aluminum rod. Now connect this in series with battery and plug key. Now let current pass through aluminum wire from B to A, and we will notice rod moves towards left. See, notice when we pass the current, rod will move towards left. On interchanging the battery terminals, we can see rod move towards right. Observe it again that rod will move left and right.
Now I hope you got a clear picture about this activity. So from this activity we can learn these points. The first one is the displacement of a rod suggests force is exerted in a magnetic field. This displacement shows the force is exerting in this magnetic field, right? And the next one is, we know that the direction of force is reversed when we interchange the flow of current. So if we reverse the batteries, the displacement will be in a reversed way when compared to the earlier one. So next we can say displacement will be maximum when current is right angle. B is nothing but magnetic field, okay? Magnetic field will be indicated by B when current is right angle to magnetic field. So we can understand the displacement will be more when the current will be more. So we can say from this point that force is directly proportional to current. So if the current is more, then we will get the displacement, it's also in a larger quantity. And you can say that the force is perpendicular to the length of the rod. And remember, here we are using aluminum conductor. This is our aluminum conductor, and it is perpendicular to length and B is what? Magnetic field. So these are the points which we can learn from this experiment. Now as I told, we have force here. Now we should understand how to know the direction of force in a current carrying conductor. For that we have one topic called as left hand rule, that is Fleming's left hand rule. Now let us see what is that. Let us take left hand, and we will use thumb finger, forefinger and middle finger. So here remember, thumb finger will always show the direction of force, and forefinger will always shows the direction of magnetic field, and the last, this middle finger shows the direction of current. So here stretch here fingers perpendicular to with each others. Okay, so what I told, thumb finger shows the direction of force and forefinger shows the direction of magnetic field, which I write it as B, which indicates the magnetic field. Then the middle finger shows the direction of current. This is all about Fleming's left hand rule. Now to understand this rule, let us solve some two problems so that we can easily understand how to give the direction of force based on this rule. Let me solve an example problem. An electron enters a magnetic field at right angle to it as shown in the figure. The direction of force acting on the electron will be, they are given four options, that is to the right, to the left, out of the page, into the page. So look at the diagram what they are giving. So the diagram was like this. So here they are given, this is the direction of magnetic field and this is electron. So all we need to find out the direction of force acting on the electron, and they are given four options. So into the page, let us consider if this is a page, if it comes downwards, then let it be into the page. If it goes up, it will be upwards, that is above the page. This is right and this is left. Now just recall what we studied in a electric current. We have some statement, conventionally the direction of current is taken opposite to the direction of electrons, flow of electrons. I hope you remember that point. So electrons means what? Negatively charged particles. Here they gave the direction of electrons. This means whatever the direction of current, current will be flowing opposite to the flow of electrons. That is, this is the direction of current. So this is a key point which we should analyze ourselves. They won't give this one. So based on our previous knowledge, we should know this one. Now we know that current is flowing above the page, right? And they are given, this is B means what? The direction of magnetic field, right? So the magnetic field is left or right, this one, okay? Now apply Fleming's right hand rule and see the direction of force. So apply Fleming's left hand rule. So this is a left hand rule. So what I told, the middle finger shows the direction of current, right? So if this is a middle finger which shows the direction of current and a forefinger is showing the direction of magnetic field, and look, our term which represents the direction of force is into the page. That means it's showing below, right? That is indicates into the page. So since we have four options in that, the fourth one is into the page. So option D is a correct answer. Now in a in-text question, there is one question based on our previous activity. What happens to the displacement of AB, that is aluminum rod? So what happens to the displacement of AB when a current in a rod AB is increased? As I told, force is directly proportional to current. What happens? Force is directly proportional to current. When current in a rod increases, automatically force is increased. The displacement will also increases. Next, stronger horseshoe magnet. If we keep the stronger horseshoe magnet, then we will get stronger magnetic field, and hence again force will also increase. And length of the AB is increased. If length of a rod is increased, then deflection of force, deflection of the rod as well as the magnetic field will also increase. So this is the given based on the activity. You should be able to answer this question. Now in the same in-text question, there is one more question to find out the direction of force using left and thumb rule. So that is homework, you should try. I will explain in the next class. Now in today's class we saw electromagnetism, next the difference between permanent magnet and electromagnet. Later on we saw force acting on a current carrying conductor. Next, Fleming's left hand rule, that you should not forget. If they ask what is Fleming's left hand rule, you should explain all the terms, that is thumb represents what? Force, and this is our, which one? This forefinger, which shows direction of magnetic field, and the next one, middle finger shows the direction of current. So use, see what we have, FBI, FBI. So use it, some technique to remember. FBI police, okay. So F is force, B is magnetic field, and I is current. You should explain all the properties of each finger, then you should state that one, okay. Now we'll proceed to the next topic, that is electric motor. Before that, there is one application of this magnetism in an medicine field, that is MRI. So I think we heard MRI scan, right? What is that? Magnetic resonance imaging. So in this scan, it will give the image of internal organ of a body. So hence it has a huge application or huge use in medicine field also. Now let us move to electric motor. So here we should first learn the principle of this electric motor. Next, the figure which will be drawn properly. Next, how it will constructed. Next, how it will work. Now let us see about electric motor. Electric motor, the principle of this motor is, it is an rotating device which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So the principle is which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Now let us take a look simple electric motor. So look at this figure. We have two poles, that is north and south. In between this pole there is a rectangular coil which is made up of copper. So let us name this as A, B, C, D. So we have a rectangular coil which have terminals. So these terminals are attached to the half rings or split rings. So these terminals of a rectangular coil is attached to this split ring. Okay. Now this split ring, the outer side of a split ring, is contact with stationary brush called as X and Y. These split rings is named as P and Q. And these X and Y are stationary brushes which are connected to the outer area of a split ring. And using these brushes, stationary brushes, a circuit is completed along with the battery and a key. Now this is how figure looks, and what I explained now, that is nothing but a construction part. So let me repeat again. So here a rectangular coil is placed in between the poles, and the ends of a rectangular coil is connected to split rings. So we have two split rings named as P and Q, and inside the split ring it is insulated, covered with insulated, and the outer part of a split ring is contacted with stationary brushes named as X and Y. Later on, to complete the circuit, we connected with the battery and a plug key. This is all about construction. And one more I forgot. Here these split rings are connected to axle, which is a long rod. This is called as axle. So these are connected to split rings, and the split rings are connected to rectangular copper wire. This is due to for the easy movement of rotating device. So they are connected to axle. Due to that, they can easily rotate. So if this split axle rotates, then the coil will also rotate. So this is about construction part. Now we finished principle and we finished construction also. Now let us see how it will work. It is working part. Now when you switch on the current, so what happens? The current started to flow from here to here. So here the magnetic field flow from this direction. So now just take a look. AB is parallel to CD. So these in the rectangular column, AB is parallel to CD and BC is parallel to AD. When we take this with respect to magnetic field, what happens? BC and AD are parallel to magnetic field lines, and BA and DC is perpendicular to magnetic field lines. We should mention this point also in work. So next, if current started to flow this way, we know the direction of current, which is I, and we know the direction of magnetic field. Now what we need to find out? Based on Fleming's left hand rule, we should find out the direction of force. So just take your left hand and see that magnetic field in such a way, which is B, FBI, this is B. So this will be like this, and this is what? Middle finger shows the direction of current, right? So middle finger shows the direction of current, and what is this? Thumb finger shows the direction of force, which is below. The direction is showing downwards. So the direction of force is downwards in AB. Now let us take this side. So here the current is moving. This is current, right? So this is current and this is magnetic field. And observe our thumb. Thumb is what? Upwards. So here the direction of force is upwards. Now we finished almost 70%. So we gave the direction of current, we gave the direction of force, and we know the direction of magnetic field. Now what I told, electric motor is an rotating device. What happens if it starts to rotate? Now this is like this. This is A, this is B, this is C, then this is D. When it started to rotate, this Q part, that means this one, this half a ring, split ring will come to this way, and this will go to that way, right? So in the same way, it will also rotate like this. When it rotates like this, what happened? Everything will change, that is, here it will come D, here it will come C, here it will be B, and here it will be C. But the direction will be, the direction of current, force and B will be same, because we have positive terminal here only. We are not interchanging this one. Only the coil will be interchanged, right? So only the coil will be interchanged. So these are the points we can observe here. So one more point. So as it started to rotate, the direction of current will change, the direction of force will change. But how? It will be DCB, right, after one half a rotation. So when it comes to now current, now here the current was flowing from A to B. Now here what happens? The current will be the same direction, but the naming will be different, right? The current will flow from D to C and here B to A. And what about the force? It will also upwards in D to C and here downwards, and B to A, what happens? It will be upwards. So as the direction of has a rotate completes half a rotate, the direction of force, current, everything will be changed with respect to the naming of this rectangular coil. That means they will remain same, but we should mention along with the naming of this rectangular coil. So all these about working of electric motor. Now I hope you understood the principle, construction as well as working, right? Now we have one more 2 points here which we should remember. That is, we need to learn some 2 words, that is commutator and armature. Now let us say what is commutator. It is a device which helps to reverse the flow of current. That is called as commutator. And just observe this construction part or this diagram. So which part acts as a commutator in electric motor that reverses the flow of current? So current will change only it started to rotate. So what is the main part which will rotate? These split rings. As a half rotation goes, the Q will come here, P will go that side. So these split rings acts as a commutator in this electric motor. And what about armature? So this is nothing but to enhance the power, we will wound this rectangular loop or soft iron as we did in solenoid. We took soft iron, on that we called that copper wire, right? So the same thing here also, we will use soft wire iron, on that we will take this rectangular coil to enhance the power, and including soft iron with this coil we will call it as armature. So this is all about electric motor. Usually they won't ask you to write the complete thing. What they will ask is, for 1 mark they will ask write only the principle. If not, with the help of labeled diagram, so if you should write like this, later on you should explain separately. A, B, C, D is rectangular coil, north to south, these poles are poles of a magnet. And then what? P and Q are split rings. Then X and Y are stationary brushes. This one we have axles. This one you should explain. What I told, they will ask with a neat label diagram, explain the working part of electric motor, or else with a neat label diagram, explain the construction part. Like that they will ask, you should be able to write some 4 to 5 points in working as well as a construction. So today we'll stop here. In the next class we'll continue. So write on the notes, answer all the homework questions. You should practice only by understanding yourself. So to understand this electric motor, let us took this clip which gives a practical knowledge.
We have a rectangular coil which is named as ABCD and which has 2 terminals, and this rectangular coil acts as an armature and is placed between north and south poles. And observe, the ends of the coil is attached to the split ring which is named as P and Q, and this split ring acts as a commutator. Next, observe, we have a axle which is a long rod inside the split ring, and these split rings are in contact with brushes. They are not attached, but they are in contact with brushes, and these brushes are completes the circuit. When the electricity passes, it will run like this. That is, electric motor is nothing but a rotating device, and this keeps on happening. Based on this, we need to find out the direction of current and the direction of magnetic field lines. This is how electric motor works.